According to the most recent details of Kevin Hunter's terrifying past, the former member of the Bank of Wendy Williams may be heading to prison. Kevin, however, has some positive news as well, because he won an important legal battle against the Wendy Williams Show. I'll offer a brief review of the story, which most of you are probably already familiar with, so you will know where things stand right now. This is a heated, stinking mess of a situation, child, and there is so much we need to unravel. To be honest, Kevin Hunter has only himself to blame for whatever has been happening to him. It's wonderful to witness how he went from being Wendy's spouse and leading an enjoyable life as a famous producer on one of the top talk shows to finding himself homeless, deeply in debt, and facing significant legal issues. Miss Karma, I promise, never plays jokes and always gives you what you deserve. Most of it, as we already know, has to do with what he did to Wendy while she was his mistress, Sharina Hudson. Wendy allowed Kevin a lot of freedom, but he also wanted to bite off more than he could chew. And in the end, Kevin did the one thing that caused Wendy to have a big breakdown. He got his side piece pregnant. As is well known, Wendy ultimately decided to file for divorce following this, and trust me, she chose to exact revenge on Kevin first. To get even with him, she made sure to terminate him from his position as producer of The Wendy Show on the same day she issued him with divorce papers. He was unemployed after the program dismissed him, which was terrible because Sharina was also unemployed and they were expecting a child. However, Kevin then had an excellent idea, and that was to demand alimony from Wendy. Although the precise amount of money he was able to extract from Wendy is unknown at this time, it was a sizable sum without any of them working. It was more than sufficient for him and Sharina to live comfortably and in luxury. Kevin didn't plan too far ahead and kept living off the alimony without saving money or investing it in anything. Furthermore, alimony payments ceased when Wendy's program was canceled, and it didn't take long for him to lose everything he had and go bankrupt. He felt quite entitled to Wendy's money at first, and he made statements like, "These people just stopped depositing my money cold turkey." And Wendy was in rehab. In a number of interviews, "I am now requesting to view every bank document from the divorce to the present, as this will reveal the true situation. They've attempted to starve me. I earned that money in the end, and I'm not going to let them steal it." But then it dawned on him that he and his lawyers had made a mess of things during the alimony payments, and that he would never receive any of her money, no matter how terrible a tale he attempted to spin. You know, it worked out that Wendy's attorneys were more astute than his, and they inserted a provision stating that should Wendy ever leave The Wendy Show, she would no longer be required to pay him maintenance. The clause read as follows because he insisted he was the creative force behind The Wendy Show and should be compensated. If for any reason, Wendy's contract with Awayayal is not renewed and Amber is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and Wendy does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendant aka Kevin Hunter understands and agrees that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification. He signed the contract. I don't know how in the world Kevin's lawyers missed it, and as soon as he realized how much he had messed up, he went from being entitled to apologizing and openly pleading with Wendy for assistance, claiming he was about to lose everything and was going broke. He expressed, "Most of my bills are past due. Since Wendy ceased fulfilling her half of the settlement agreement, it has had a significant impact on my life. It is urgently important to me that I am unable to support myself and pay my payments on time. I am unable to support my daily needs and pay my debts." He attempted to sue Wendy for money when that failed to persuade her to part with some cash to get him out of this predicament. And for that, he received a lot of backlash from supporters who thought he ought to obtain a job rather than pleading with his ex-wife for benefits. It was all for nothing, though, because the judge dismissed his case, which was to be expected given that he didn't have a particularly compelling case to begin with. Even worse, he and Sharina had been reckless with their money while they did have it, as they nearly instantly became bankrupt when Wendy's checks stopped arriving. People first assumed that Kevin and Sharina would stay together since they genuinely cared for one another. Since they'd been together for approximately 15 years now. After all, their affair lasted for 10 or 11 years before Wendy filed for divorce and Sharina became pregnant. However, Sharina left Kevin and moved back in with her mother, proving that she wasn't about that broken existence. I've heard now that Sharina and her ex-husband, Kevin, are no longer together. You are aware of what that is, too? Come on, the money's gone. What were your expectations? Money has vanished from the world. Not only that, but it appears like Sharina will be getting rid of Kevin very soon, as it is said that she intends to sue him for child support. And that gets us to where we are right now. Kevin has a lot of urgent legal matters, but because of them all, he is almost bankrupt and may soon be heading to jail. I don't know if any of you remember, but it was made public earlier this year that Kevin owed a significant amount of money as a result of Kevin's refusal to pay his credit card bill. UBS Bank filed a lawsuit against him. In correspondence dated January 23, 2023, and March 1, 2023, EBS Bank informed the defendant, among other things, that he had failed to fulfill his obligations under the terms of the agreement and that the remaining amount owed on the account was accelerated, according to court documents. Therefore, UBS Bank requests judgment against the defendant for costs of suit, including legal fees, damages in an amount to be established at trial but not less than $2176.83, and any additional relief the court deems reasonable and equitable. Therefore, you already know what will happen if he doesn't pay. In an effort to pay off his debt, it was recently disclosed that he had sold the Florida state in which he and Sharina once resided. However, it's said that the sale fell short of paying off his obligation, and now the bank and other creditors are requesting payment. Might I also mention that he borrowed money to buy his 2 expensive cars. And get this, once Wendy filed for divorce, he also sold the second house he had purchased. And honey, it really appears that he doesn't have a house of his own. It's the stuff of nightmares to be homeless, in debt, and involved in legal matters. But because his claim against Dear Mercury, the production company behind the Wendy Williams Show, has been approved to proceed to trial, it appears that he has some hope. Kevin then filed a lawsuit against the production house, stating that he was fired unfairly and demanding payment for all of his legal fees. Kevin claimed that he played a significant role in the success of the show. Indeed, he claimed to be the brains behind such classic segments as Hot Topics and Wendy's Shoe Cam, choosing guests and creating marketing strategies to increase viewership. Additionally, he claimed that the producers had broken New York law by preparing to utilize a lot of Wendy's show content on their new talk show featuring Cher Shepherd. Kevin says he was fired from the show because he got divorced, which is against the law in New York, not because he wasn't doing his job well. A move to dismiss the case was filed by the producers, but the judge denied the request. Kevin will now at last have a trial. Kevin's legal representative issued the following statement. Mr. Hunter is pleased that Wendy's producers' move to dismiss was denied by the court, and that he will eventually have his day in court. Before the Wendy Williams Show was canceled, Mr. Hunter played a crucial role in its success, and his marriage to Wendy was dissolving, which had nothing to do with his performance being terminated. However, the internet isn't feeling sorry for him. Several people commented, "Hey, that karma hits." I am not sure why some individuals do not believe that karma is a non-spinning block. Retain your integrity. That's what he receives. His retribution arrived quickly. He followed Wendy since he felt the grass was greener, and he's not with the side chick anymore. Large karma. Is there a minimum age to enroll in Job Corps? Since Popeyes and churches are hiring, he is currently homeless, jobless, and unskilled. You have to swallow your pride when it comes to money. And kid, who's footing his legal bills? That final question is one that we all need to know the answer to since. On top of all his debt, he most likely has a ton of legal debt from doing business with everyone in Hollywood. However, I am curious to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe he will prevail in this final lawsuit? Or do you believe he should acquire a regular job like everyone else in order to pay his expenses? After watching this video, leave comments and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.